The Titan submarine began its journey from Canada's St. John's Port. This was the location where it was supposed to dive into the ocean. This point is 700 kilometers away from St. John's. It is located in the North Atlantic Ocean. At this very spot, at the depths of the cold water, lies the Titanic shipwreck. On Saturday, June 17, 2023, this journey was started. As per the plan, the Titan was to be lowered into the water the next day. That day was Sunday. The time planned was 8 a.m. It should be noted here that before the dive, an issue was noticed in the Titan, but despite that, risking their lives, it was lowered into the ocean. What was this issue? And why, despite knowing it, was this risk taken? Welcome once again to Scope History Videos. Ladies and gentlemen, there were a total of 5 people on this journey. Among them was Hamish Harding. He was the founder of Action Aviation. He had traveled to space with Jeff Bezos. In second place was Dr. Rush. He was also the CEO of OceanGate. This American company provides submersibles for ocean tourism. In third place was 77-year-old Paul Henry. He had previously visited the Titanic. He was a shipwreck expert. He had a great deal of knowledge about the Titanic's broken parts. And lastly, the Pakistani business tycoon Shahzada Dawood was part of this submarine. Along with him, his son Suleiman was also part of this submarine. Before the dive on June 17th, Hamish Harding made his final post on the internet. He said that due to severe cold weather, their dive was delayed. He said, "Tomorrow morning, when the weather clears for a short while, we will dive." These 5 people were going to fulfill their passion. They wanted to see the famous Titanic wreck. After the Titanic sank in 1912, efforts to find it continued for many years. But due to the harsh conditions of the Atlantic Ocean, this work was not easy. Then, in 1985, finally the wreck of the RMS Titanic was found on the ocean floor. The Titanic left behind many questions. Now it was time to search for their answers. Dozens of expeditions were arranged. In these expeditions, experts and researchers from different countries explored the Titanic wreck. Canadian filmmaker James Cameron made dozens of visits to the wreck in 1995. Then, in 1997, the Titanic movie was released. The success of the Titanic movie filled the remaining gap. It created such a sensation around the world. Now, seeing the Titanic wreck in person became the dream of millions. In other words, this work was no longer limited to research purposes. Tourists also started going to this shipwreck site. It is said that descending into the ocean is even more difficult than going to space. The biggest reason for this is the water pressure. The Titanic shipwreck is 4,000 meters below the ocean surface. That means it is 4 kilometers deep. To imagine its depth, think of the Burj Khalifa. The Titanic wreck is about 5 times the height of the Burj Khalifa beneath the sea. At this depth, the water pressure is 5,800 psi. This pressure is equal to having an entire elephant standing on just 1 square inch of a person's body. Now imagine how many square inches a submarine has and how much pressure it would experience. Anyway, on Sunday, June 18, 2023 at 12 p.m., the submarine's journey began. Normally it took 2 hours to reach the Titanic. But just 1 hour and 45 minutes later, the mothership Polar Prince lost contact with the submarine. Polar Prince was waiting above on the surface of the ocean. If it normally took 2 hours to reach the Titanic, then losing contact just 15 minutes before meant the submarine was very close to the Titanic. At this depth, sunlight does not reach. There is extreme darkness at all times. At such depth, losing a wireless signal is normal. So at first this was not taken very seriously. The whole trip was supposed to last 7 hours. From 12 p.m. to 7 p.m., that was the time when they were supposed to return. But when by 7 p.m. there was still no contact with the Titan, and since it did not return, the people on the mothership Polar Prince became worried. The Canadian research vessel Polar Prince began searching for the Titan. At 10:40 a.m. they contacted the U.S. Coast Guard for help. The next day, Monday, U.S. and Canadian ships and planes launched a search operation. They searched the entire area. They searched the ocean surface. They also used sonar scanning inside the water. Commercial vessels in the area were also told to keep their eyes open. This search continued for the next 2 days, but no trace of the Titan was found. Then a small glimmer of hope appeared. On Wednesday, June 21st at 6 a.m., the search team heard some sounds from the depths of the water. These sounds were detected using underwater sonar. An ROV was sent in the direction of the sound. But once again, there was no news of the Titan. Now, the fear grew that the Titan might be lost forever. The oxygen inside the submarine was only for 96 hours. That means only 4 days. By this time, 3 out of the 4 days had already passed. But the US, Canada, and French search teams did not give up. On Thursday, June 22nd at 12 p.m., the ROV was sent near the Titanic wreck. When it reached there, what was seen was truly chilling. At 3:48 p.m., the ROV found a part of the Titan's tail. It was just 16 feet away from the Titanic wreck. The journey that was supposed to be a visit to the Titanic became global news. This meant that the submarine could not withstand the water pressure. It imploded in the depths of the ocean. This news sent shockwaves around the world. Many questions were raised about OceanGate. OceanGate's CEO, Dr. Rush, had said back in 2021 something important. He said that he knew they had made a mistake with the Titan because they had built it not from steel, but from aviation-grade carbon fiber. However, he wanted to bring innovation to this industry. So they replaced the steel with carbon fiber. Before its launch, the Titan was tested at 5,000 to 10,000 psi, and it passed those tests. But experts believe the ocean environment is far more complex. Inside the ocean, many forces act on the submarine. Not just pressure, but also water currents created by waves. In addition, due to darkness, there could have been other risks. A heavy rock might have hit the submarine, or even a marine creature might have collided with it. Whatever the case, the carbon fiber structure was one reason for Titan's destruction. But another reason was the hidden steel inside it. Yes, the Titan submarine had also taken a businessman named Carl in 2019. At that time, the submarine was operated by OceanGate's CEO himself. Carl later described something unusual about the journey. As they were descending, he heard a cracking sound from the Titan's body. The deeper they went, the louder the cracking sound became. At that time, he did not pay much attention to the sound, because he trusted OceanGate's CEO who had designed the submarine. But after the accident, he told CNN something important. He said that perhaps that cracking sound was a warning sign. It might have meant that the Titan's body could not handle the water pressure. If this is true, then the Titan's failure had begun earlier. In 2018, an executive at OceanGate had already raised concerns. He warned about the Titan's carbon fiber body. He said that this issue appeared just weeks before the submarine's launch. And sadly, that is exactly what happened. When the Titan collapsed, it took only 0.3 seconds. I hope you all liked this Scope History video. Please like and share this video. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next amazing video.